Santa and the reindeer. This poem is very different from the atmosphere of a holiday. In this poem, I feel the sadness of the animal, reindeer. The one who really works hard doesn't get any thanks, and the Santa is only in a hurry to fulfill his job, to be a popular star in children's mind. Well, the silent one is always ignored. That's what I think about this poem. And let's think what Madonna's talk about this poem. This poem fails miserably and spectacularly. Silverstein attempts to subvert the unexpected ending, but succeeds only in frustrating the reader. The poem, which appears in the center of the book, picks up a theme of holiday poems. The poems such as I Must Remember, The Fourth, and so on. In fact, these holiday poems are all different from the descriptions of other writers. The Santa poem also take up subject matter of some renown in poetry for children. Santa and his reindeer are also the subject of Clement Clark Moore's A Visit from St. Nicholas, which is published in 1823. One of the best known and the most popular poems for children. Santa, one of the most universally recognized and reverent heroes of childhood, is always fair, and as far as most children know, always generous. Consistent with Silverstein's inversion of perspective. This poem, of course, is not the same as Clement Clark Moore's. The reindeer's identity is embedded in the poem. One has to know all 8 of the reindeer's names from Moore's poem in order to be able to figure out which reindeer that is. Either Dasher or Vincent, the only 2 Santa does not call forth in the Silverstein's poem. The possibility that the reindeer is Rudolph seems remote, given that he has an ordinary nose in the illustration, and given its minority. Rudolph is all deference and humanity, whereas this one is insistent and stubborn, like a Dasher or a Vixen. Whereas the other reindeer respond to Santa's call. This one stands his ground and asks the old elf, "Oh, what do you have for me?" The question confounds Santa. She has games and toys for girls and boys, which hardly answers the reindeer's question, so he repeats it. Santa grows impatient and distraught. Christmas is upon them, and they must leave. The joke comes from Santa reaches it into his beard, pulls out a flea, and puts into the reindeer's ear, to which the beast responds, "For me, or gee, and taste of." Santa's purpose is accomplished, but is the reindeer's? Is he pleased with the gift or tumult? And in bestowing this gift, Santa reveals himself as being less than the bright, clean, jolly old elf. He is full of impatience and flees. Silverstein's last couplet in this otherwise well-crafted serious quatrain further confirms the poem's meaning. And the moral of this Yuletide tale you know as well as me. A series of possible aphorisms comes to mind. Ask, and you will receive. If you are good, Santa will remember you. You get what you deserve. A little kindness goes a long way. Good things come in small packages. It's better to give than to receive. What goes around comes around. Unfortunately, none of these adages seem quite right, since none acknowledges the obvious hostility between the reindeer and the Santa, and none of them accounts for Santa's lack of consideration for the reindeer, or for the reindeer's sudden, unexplained, and untimely request for a gift after all the years of unspoken cooperation. Finally, nothing in the poem helps the reader to understand whether the reindeer's orgy is an expression or of pleasure or of torment. Perhaps it's both. Further clouding the poem's meaning are its illustration and the details. The reindeer sees a fallen star. Traditionally, fallen star in literature and the popular lore mean that someone is dying. At the very least, a falling star is a portent of something of weighty significance. Is the reindeer here the voice of all those who do not ask for and therefore do not receive Christmas gifts? Is he the one about to die or at least experience some kind of unpleasant fate? The detail, rather than clarifying, further confound. The reindeer is also described as speaking in low whispers and standing as if made of wood. The illustration shows the reverse. The two characters stand on opposite sides of the gutter in obvious confrontation. The reindeer seems ready to charge Santa, his full rake of antlers poised for action and his small eyes focused in a glare. Santa looks back at him in helpless, slump-shouldered confusion. The bags under his eyes and the droop of the unusual chilly pom-pom at the end of his hat made him look dirty and unsavory, as a flea in his beard suggests he might be. The illustration does not bear out the reindeer's meek request and leads to Santa the aura of not quite being in control. Although he clearly is at the end of the poem, in fact, he treats the whole incident with the reindeer as a brief pause, not the last part of the bad, harried day. The opposition of reindeer and the Santa is clear in the picture, but the attitudes of the two about the final resolution are not. The ending is subversive because it is so open to interpretation, whereas the poet points to a closed, finalized, moralized ending. Only Silverstein knows what the poem really means, and he isn't telling. Perhaps the poetry is just sloppy but the poet snuck silent about the moral at the end. On the cusp, the friendly, accessible stance he has taken elsewhere. According to MacDonald, this is not a successful point. Too much confusion, and some riddles are yet to be resolved. But as a person who doesn't like the monetary atmosphere and the playful activities help to tie up relationship, I think Silverstein wants to reverse the commercial provocation of celebrating a false feelings of happiness. This is a day of celebrating gratitude and the spirits of giving and devotion. But no one cares about those who have worked for 1,000 years and stayed silently for so long. Finally, the reindeer needs a reward, but only confusion and misunderstanding is left. To me, this point is a powerful subversive attitude toward hypocrisy.